Rosenblatt Stadium, Omaha, Nebraska. One of baseball's gems. A place where hard work is rewarded with pride. And it is in this special place at the crossroads of America, where the road ends for some and begins for others.
Playing in Rosenblatt, it's a dream as a little kid, You watch it on TV, you finally get here and you realize the atmosphere is just unbelievable.
Just to play in front of 25,000 people that's either going to hate you or love you. I've always dreamed of being here, but the chance to actually get here and do the things that our team's done is amazing.
The passage through Omaha can change in a pitch as a team's focus shifts from just being at the College World Series to competing for a national championship.
Once we saw that we could hang with Cal State Fullerton, I think it kind of opened our eyes that we were as good as anybody.
2006 welcomes two teams from opposite coasts, facing each other here in the middle of America for the first time in each school's baseball history. And the Rosenblatt faithful will watch as the two programs vie for their first national title in this sport. The Beavers of Oregon State return, having learned from an 0-2 experience just a season ago.
We vowed to come back this year and do something special.
North Carolina is a team that's prayed for this chance. Their last appearance in Omaha, almost 20 years ago.
We feel like we've accomplished something, but we're definitely not satisfied by just being here.
As the sun rises and sets over Rosenblatt Stadium, College World Series royalty is watching and waiting for another team to raise the trophy. It's the 2006 NCAA College World Series Championship Series. Welcome to Omaha.
You have to make an effort to get out of the way of the ball.
We're going to soak this bad boy down.
If you can turn and make the throw, much better off. Great play by Yonder.
Hey, we got fan interference. We got fan interference. That's right. Oh, yeah, caught the ball below the yellow line.
Hey, Dad, happy Father's Day.
I'm Linda Cohn, alongside college baseball analyst Kyle Peterson. Now I'm joined by Jeff Brantley. Josh, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations.
Eric, are you there? I am here, and it is nice and warm in Omaha.
I'm kind of big.
Colin Cowherd of the Herd.
What's up, Big Dave?
Good to see you.
Good to see you, good buddy.
At times, I felt like Clint Eastwood, and the Space Cowboys making a comeback.
Dato, who coached nearly 60 major leaguers in 45 seasons at SC, is being remembered in Omaha this week.
We welcome you to the 60th College World Series.
Well, we took the field on a perfect day. It was right out of a dream. Never seen a sky so crystal clear. Never walked on grass so green. And in the stands when they clap their hands, I can feel it in my chest. And they come from almost every state to find out who's the best. So put me in, I'm your man, I can do it all.
North Carolina advances to the championship series.
To breathe the air back home in Omaha.
It's over. Oregon State will play for a national championship.
Well, it feels like it might be time somebody gives this game a rise. Throw me one across the plane, man, I put another stain, and that ain't no lie. Back home in Omaha.
Game 1 of the 2006 College World Series featured two opponents who were very familiar with one another from the ACC. Clemson, the College World Series #1 seed, and Georgia Tech, the #8 seed. The 50-16 Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, entering the College World Series on a 5-game winning streak, are led by 13-year veteran head coach Danny Hall. Tech has the second highest scoring offense in Division I baseball. Clemson swept through the regional tournament, rallying to post back-to-back late-inning victories over Oral Roberts in the Super Regional. The Tigers advanced to the College World Series for the 11th time in school history and 5th in the last 12 seasons. On the mound for Clemson is senior left-hander Sean Clark. Clark was sidelined by shoulder surgery in 2005. During most of the 2006 campaign, Clark found innings hard to come by. He failed to make the Tigers' 25-man travel roster throughout the season, getting a spot only when teammate Travis Storr was hurt before the ACC tournament.
All right, hustle on that field, set the tone right now. Let's get our game going now. Hustle. Win.
The 52-14 Tigers are coached by 13-year veteran Jack Leggett. As a player, Leggett was a member of Maine's baseball team that played in the College World Series in 1976. Georgia Tech started the game with a bang when #2 hitter Wally Crancer doubled to center field. Crancer would score on a single by Matt Weeder. The hardest hit of the inning was produced by cleanup hitter Jeff Kendall. Sean Clark left a changeup out over the plate, and Kendall deposited it over the center field fence for his 14th home run of the season. Through the first 7 innings, Jeff Hyde was pitching a game of his life. Hyde had a 2-hit shutout. But the 8th proved a little tougher. He led off the 8th with a 4-pitch walk, marking his 100th pitch of the game. Then sophomore Brad Clark hits a hot roller past diving third baseman Whit Robbins, and the Tigers had something going. Head coach Danny Hall had seen enough, and Hyde is replaced by sophomore right-hander Brad Brulin. Marquez Smith comes up and hits a shot into the left center field gap, scoring Herman Dimmick and Brad Chalk.
That ball's in it for the wall. Here comes one run in. Chalk digging behind Dimmick. He's headed plateward and he will score, and Marquez Smith delivers with a double to left center and a couple of RBIs, and it's 4-2.
Coach Hall returns to the mound and calls for the left-hander, Ryan Turner. Clemson's Tyler Colvin hit a hard shot between first and second, but Georgia Tech's Mike Trapani makes a diving stop to keep the runner from scoring from third. Then a simple pickoff attempt at first proved to be a problem.
Throw over to first, and he threw it by Colvin. Threw it by the first baseman. Marquez will score to make it 4-3. Colvin will round second, head for third. The throw from Merton not in time, and the tying run is now 90 feet away.
With runners on first and third, Andy D'Alessio put the Tigers ahead. He hits a 3-run blast off the top of the fence in left center for his 23rd home run of the season.
2-2, swung on, lifted right center field, looking up at Blackwood, and that one is gone. And that's a home run for Andy D'Alessio out to right center field. And it puts the Tigers on top 6-4.
Still looking for a way out of the inning, Coach Hall goes to the bullpen again and calls for Jared Hyatt.
Chop to third and under the glove of Robbins down the third base line on a hot shot. Mitchell with great speed, and he'll coast easily into second, and it is a base hit, a double for DJ Mitchell.
Andrew Casanova kept the Tigers moving with a hard ground ball to the left side for a base hit, scoring Mitchell.
Base hit. Jeff Kendall's going to come up with it. He's going to fire to home, but it's offline. Past Weeders all the way to the backstop. Going to second base is Casanova.
The revolving door to the bullpen continued as Tim Ladd became the 4th relief pitcher of the inning. The Tigers decide to make a change of their own by bringing in Ben Hall to pinch hit for Dimmick.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And Hall, a line drive into center field for a base hit. Here comes Casanova around third. He'll score the 8th run of the 8th inning. And Clemson leads it 8-4. And the hit parade continues for the Clemson Tigers.
By the time Clemson finished the bottom of the 8th, the Tigers had scored 8 runs and put themselves into the record book with the biggest comeback in the College World Series in 20 years. Game 2 featured a matchup between North Carolina and perennial power Cal State Fullerton. After sweeping through the NCAA Chapel Hill Regional and Tuscaloosa Super Regional with an average of over 12 runs per game, North Carolina is making its first College World Series appearance since 1989. At 50-13, Carolina has reached the 50-win mark for just the 2nd time in school history. This is their 5th College World Series appearance and 1st under head coach Mike Fox. Fox played in Omaha as a Tar Heel in 1978. Fullerton has earned 15 consecutive postseason berths. Only Miami of Florida, Florida State, and Clemson have longer current streaks. The Titans rolled through regional play, winning 5 games by a combined score of 41-8. Coach George Horton returns with his team this year after winning the national championship in 2004. Game 2 was touted as a pitching duel with All-American Wes Romer on the mound for the Titans, All-American Andrew Miller starting for the Tar Heels. North Carolina came out swinging in the top of the 1st as Reed Franck, the 2nd hitter in the lineup, placed one in the right field seat.
Swinging a high drive to right field, and it might not be coming back, and it's gone. Romer tried to run a fastball in on him and say goodnight to the no-hitter and the shutout for Romer.
Fullerton started out their half of the 1st with a few hits of their own. Leadoff man Justin Turner singled through the right side.
And now a 2-2 fastball, liner into right field, base hit.
Cleanup hitter Danny Dorn was able to bring Turner home from 3rd with a double up the middle.
Fuller to Dorn, breaking ball, and Dorn hits one high and deep to center field. Turning and running is Cavassini, and he won't haul it in. It short hops the 408 in center, and Danny Dorn steps into second base. His first hit of the College World Series, an RBI double. Turner scores, and it's 2-1 Carolina.
Carolina continued to put pressure on Fullerton starter Wes Romer in the 2nd with a leadoff single by Seth Williams, and this home run by Benji Johnson.
Tied with Flack and Cox, and now he scores one up here. 1-0 lifted high and deep to left center field. Dorn goes back, he's at the track, and it's gone.
The Titans, trying to keep the game close, got a home run from Evan MacArthur in the bottom of the 2nd.
Miller fastball swinging a high drive to left center. Back goes Cox. He's at the track. He's on the wall, and it's out of here. Home run for Evan MacArthur. And at the break, I asked Eric, I said, who's your pick to click? And he says number 19, and he follows with a solo bomb into the grandstands. And the lead is 4-2.
But it was the bottom of the 3rd inning that put Fullerton in the lead. Danny Dorn recorded a walk and moved to 2nd on a hit by Brian Harris. Then right fielder Jared Clark hit a 3-1 pitch to right field.
Here comes the 3-1 fastball. Clark hits it high and deep to right. This has a chance. Williams at the track. It's gone. Home run for Jared Clark. It's 5-4, Cal State Fullerton.
In the top of the 5th, the Tar Heels' Garrett Gore led off with a single up the middle. Mike Cavassini got the bunt down and moved Gore to 2nd. And 2 batters later, Josh Horton singled to right center, scoring Gore, and the game was tied at 5.
Horton a little flare into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home with the tying run is Gore as Josh Horton delivers a 2-out RBI single to right, and we'll knot it again at 5.
We're into extra innings. Corey Vanderhook started off the 11th with a controversial walk that brought the Carolina coaches out of the dugout.
Tough ball for Matt Danford on the hill.
That hot strike has been there all night.
Vanderhook was moving on a hit and run, but stopped when Justin Turner missed the pitch.
There goes the runner, swing and a miss for a strike. The runner's going to be caught in between, but the throw goes into center field. Backing it up is Cavazzini to throw in, and it bounces on the infield into the glove of Matt Danford, the pitcher.
Fullerton's Justin Turner struck out, but Fedorowicz dropped the 3rd strike.
They've got to throw to first to retire Turner, and it's not there. The ball's knocked away, and everybody's going to be safe.
The inning should have been over with a strikeout of Brett Pill. Fedorowicz couldn't handle the toss, and the inning continued.
Swing and a miss. It gets through the legs of Fedorowicz, and Pill is going to reach first.
With the bases loaded, Carolina reliever Mike Danford got David Cooper to fly out to right field.
Cooper sends it high in the air, shallow right center. Williams, Cavazzini coming in, and Williams dives, and he makes the catch.
In the 13th inning, Carolina's Mike Cavazzini started off a string of base hits for the Tar Heels. By the end of the small ball inning, the Tar Heels had scraped out 2 runs on 5 hits. Fullerton tried to answer in the bottom of the 13th when Justin Turner singled through the left side and Brett Pill singled to left field. But Titan veteran Danny Dorn flied out to left field, and North Carolina was able to hold on for the win.
The Tar Heels, in 13 innings, have advanced in the winner's bracket at the College World Series.
As my assistant likes to say, we snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. What a terrific college baseball game. Made the plays when we needed to, and got some big hits there at the end, so we're certainly happy to have won.
Game 3 of the 2006 College World Series featured a number 2 seed in the College World Series, the Rice Owls, versus the number 7 seed Georgia Bulldogs. This is the 12th consecutive NCAA tournament and 5th trip to the College World Series for Rice. The Owls won the school's first national championship in a team sport in its last venture to the College World Series in 2003.
Touch off the celebration. The Owls are flying home with a national championship.
Graham is the 2006 National Coach of the Year. Over his 25-year coaching career, Graham has accumulated over 1,200 wins, with more than half coming at Rice. On the other side of the field, the Georgia Bulldogs are led by 2004 Coach of the Year and alumnus David Perno. Since beginning as head coach 5 years ago, the Bulldogs have shown a standard of excellence on and off the field.
Get ready to play. We got 10 minutes to beat people. Let's go.
This is the 5th trip to Omaha for the Bulldogs. They finished 3rd back in 2004. On the mound for the Dogs is junior right-hander Brooks Brown. Brown is 8-4 with an ERA of 4.10. Senior right-hander Eddie Diggerman will start for the Rice Owls. Diggerman has 13 wins with just 1 loss and an ERA of 1.81.
It's the same game. Nothing's changed now. Playing D, playing full 9. Let's show them why we came here. Here we go. Take it, Friday. Let the games begin.
The second inning started out a little rough for Diggerman after walking the first 2 batters. Jason Jacobs placed a bunt down the third baseline.
Beautiful bunt. Up with it is Rodriguez. The throw to first in time.
Diggerman was still looking for control as he walked the bases full.
The 1-2 swing and a miss. Strike three. Eisel is a huge second out for Eddie Diggerman.
But the inning was not over. With the bases loaded, Diggerman still had to face number 9 hitter Matt Dunn.
Swing and a miss in the third step on home plate, and the inning is over. Diggerman makes the trouble, and Diggerman gets himself out.
The scoreless tie was finally broken in the fourth inning when Rice leadoff hitter Joe Savory singled to center. Two batters later, Jordan Dotson singled to center, and the Owls were up 1.
Swung on, fisted into center field. We'll see if Side can get to it. He will not. Short hops in. Savory's coming home. He will score. Dotson trying for an extra base. He'll slide in safely. The Owls have taken the lead. It's 1-0.
With a no-hitter dangling in the air through 6 innings, Owls starter Eddie Diggerman began the 7th inning by walking the first 2 batters he faced. Diggerman was able to get pinch hitter Kyle Keene to foul off a third strike bunt attempt.
He's bunting again. This should go foul, and he'll strike out. And that is a huge play. David Curnow putting on the bunt with 2 strikes.
Georgia third baseman Ryan Peisel placed a single up the middle, and Diggerman was done for the day.
The pitch, ground ball up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. Felmy going to be waved around third. The throw will come to third. Ryan Peisel with Georgia's first hit. Felmy with Georgia's first run, and that cuts Rice's lead in half. It's the Owls 2 and Georgia 1.
Diggerman finished with a Rice school record of 167 career strikeouts.
There's just throwing curveball after curveball after curveball. And when we got a fastball, we'd either foul it straight back or to the right side. So there's nothing you can do about that. We should have spit on everything he threw.
With Cole St. Clair on the mound, Matt Dunn drives a chopper to third base.
Here's a pitch, high hopper towards third. That'll be gloved by Rodriguez. Throw to first, safe, and it gets past Savory. Jacobs rounding third. He's gonna score, and the Dogs have tied it. Georgia has tied Rice 2-2.
Then on a 1-2 pitch, Jonathan Wyatt singled down the third baseline.
Line off the glove of Rodriguez. It's going to land out in left field. Peisel in to score. Jonathan Wyatt again delivers, and Georgia has called and raised. It's the Bulldogs 3 and the Owls 2.
St. Clair's time on the mound was brief as Bryce Cox was called upon to stop the Bulldogs. But Joey Side singled up the middle, and the Bulldogs were on top 4-2.
Line drive into center, base hit. Dunn is going to be waved around third. Henley, the throw will come to third. Dunn in safely. Joey Side comes through, and the Dogs stretch the lead over Rice to 4-2.
The Rice Owls came right back in the bottom of the 7th with some offense of their own. With a runner on first, Brian Friday hit a rip-worn pitch down the left field line. That scores Greg Buchanan.
The ball ripped inside the bag. It's inside, and it's a double at least. Here comes Buchanan, ball rolling around in the bullpen. He'll be held up. He'll be sent home. Here comes a play at the plate, sliding in, safe.
After Josh Rodriguez singled to center and both runners advanced on the throw, Joe Savory singled up the middle for his third hit of the day. The Owls took the lead 5-4.
Here comes Rodriguez. He will score, and the Owls have wrestled back the lead. It's 5-4.
Jordan Dotson finished the scoring for the game with a single back up the middle, scoring Savory.
Now the 1-1 to the Owl right fielder. Into center field, that's going to be a base hit. Here comes Savory. The charge will be in, but no throw, and the Owls lead it 6-4.
Rice Owls move on in the winner's bracket, and the Georgia Bulldogs now face a must-win game.
Well, I think the game was a tribute to the ability of both teams because that was the pitching today was great stuff, and the two teams were able to put up 10 runs between them. I think that's a tribute not only to the hitting ability but the tenacity of both teams. Georgia fought us hard, and the breaks kept going back and forth. I thought our guys did a great job, and we're very fortunate to be the winner.
In Game 4 of the 2006 College World Series, Miami of Florida is making its 22nd trip to Omaha, facing Oregon State, the only returning team from last year's series. The Hurricanes have traveled the toughest path to Omaha. Miami hasn't played at home since May 14th and needed to win 5 games on the road in regional play to get here. Oregon State is still looking for its first win in College World Series action. The Beavers are 0 for 4 in 2 previous trips to Omaha. Last year, the Beavers exited the tournament after just 2 games, losing to Tulane and then Baylor in 10 innings. On the mound for the Beavers is junior right-hander Dallas Buck. The All-American is 12-2 in 18 appearances this year. The Hurricanes will start off with Scott Maine. The sophomore left-hander hurled a complete game in just 97 pitches during a start in the Super Regional.
He's on 3. 1, 2, 3.
With 2 outs in the top of the first, Miami's John Jay laid a bunt down the third base line.
McFeely charging in, and he'll have no play. Jay, a terrific bunt single.
Cleanup hitter Danny Valencia walked, and Dennis Rabin got the Canes on the board with a double to right center.
Swung on, there's a drive in the right center field, could be trouble. Backing up as Gibson can't get there, it's up against the wall. 1 run in, that's John Jay. Racing around third is Valencia. He's going to score standing up and into second with a stand-up 2-run double is freshman Dennis Rabin. And Miami leads 2-0.
1 inning later, the Hurricanes continued to put pressure on the Beaver starter Dallas Buck. After giving up 3 walks, Tommy Giles doubled to left center.
Tommy swings, there's a drive to left center field. Hit it well, Graham is backing up. That ball is up against the wall. 1 run in, that's Tomas. Eddie Rodriguez right behind him. Here comes Jemiah Weeks. The play at the plate. It's going to be too late. It's a 3-run double for Tommy Giles.
Miami continued their hitting clinic in the 5th when leadoff hitter Danny Valencia got his 2nd hit of the day.
Swung on, there's a fly ball. Left field hit pretty well. Lefty backing up, it's going to be up against the wall on 1 hop. Danny Valencia racing around first. He's into second, satisfied with a double.
Dennis Rabin followed that up with a shot to right field.
He swings and there's a drive to right field. Back goes Gibson. He looks up and that ball is out of here. It's a 2-run homer for freshman Dennis Rabin. And Miami leads it 7-0.
Oregon State was looking for any way to dampen the Hurricanes' bats, and they got their wish in the 8th when lightning and rain delayed the game for 90 minutes. Any concern Miami coach Jim Morris had about a possible letdown ended shortly after play resumed when John Jay hit a bases-loaded triple against Oregon State's reliever Eddie Coons.
Balls on a strike. Jay, a line drive to center field. Graham came in. Now he breaks back, and it's over his head and off the wall. 1 run will score. Weeks on his way to the plate. Here comes Giles chugging for the plate. He'll score. A triple for John Jay, and it's 10-0 Miami.
By the end of the 8th, the Hurricanes had 11 runs on 10 hits. The Beavers tried to get things started in their half of the 8th when Cole Gillespie tripled to center field, scoring Chris Kunda.
John Jay still going back, twisting and turning. The ball is off the base of the fence. The Beavers will spoil the shutout here as Kunda is on his way to the plate to score. Gillespie into third with a triple. The Beavers on the board. It's 11-1.
But it was too little, too late for the Beavers as the Hurricanes brought in closer Andrew Lane to finish the game.
Chop to the right side. This should do it. Weeks throws to first in time. And the Miami Hurricanes, after a 1 hour and 34-minute rain delay, finish off the Oregon State Beavers. Your final score tonight, Miami 11 and Oregon State 1.
We played the game tonight about as well as we could play. Scott pitched great. Of course, Dennis had an outstanding job. A couple big hits, a home run, and a base hit early put us ahead 2-0. So I thought it was a very good team effort. We played outstanding defense. We pitched well. And we got timely hitting. When you do that, you have a chance to win. So I'm very excited about the way we're playing the game right now.
Oregon State now moves into the loser's bracket, while Miami looks forward to playing Rice in Game 8. Game 5 of the 2006 College World Series has always been known as the 2 and barbecue game because it produces the first team to say goodbye to Omaha. After losing in their opener to Clemson, Georgia Tech hopes to continue their first inning outburst throughout the entire 9 innings. On the mound for the Yellow Jackets is junior Blake Wood. Over the past 2 years, Wood is 4-0 with a 2.22 ERA in postseason competition. Cal State Fullerton arrives in this game after a 13-inning loss to North Carolina. Starting out for the Titans is 12-1 Dustin Miller. Miller has appeared in 17 games this season and carries a 2.95 ERA into the game. In Game 1, Georgia Tech pounced on Clemson for 3 runs in the first. Now in Game 5, Georgia Tech continued their first inning antics. Cody Prancer walked to first, and Matt Weeder singled to right field. Jeff Kendall singled through the right side, and Georgia Tech was up 1.
And it's hit through the right side. That's a base hit. Cranker rounding third. He's headed for home. Here comes the throw from Tripp, and he is safe at the plate. And Georgia Tech with a 1-0 lead.
Whit Robbins then popped up the left field, and Georgia Tech was up 2.
Swung on and lifted high in the air in shallow left center. The left fielder's going to grab it, Danny Dorn. Matt Wieters is going to tag, as is Jeff Kendall. The throw coming home is way over. Backed up by Dustin Miller, the pitcher. Matt Wieters scores. Jeff Kendall advances to second.
Wes Hodges finished up the scoring with an RBI single up the middle.
Chop back up the middle, and that's going to sneak into center field for a base hit. Merton will hold at second as the 3rd run of the inning comes home on the RBI single by Wes Hodges.
Georgia Tech added another run in the 3rd thanks to a bases-loaded error.
Chopped on the ground to the right side. Should be out of the inning. It's bobbled though by Hill at first, and everybody's safe. Hill bobbles it at first, and everybody's safe, and it's 4-0. The error costs Cal State Fullerton a run.
Cal State was finally able to plate a run in the 4th, but it came at the cost of 2 outs.
It goes to second for 1, over to first for 2.
Titans added another run in the 5th with a 2-out single by Justin Turner, scoring Evan McCarthy.
The tying run at the plate for the Titans, and Turner hits the first pitch fastball, lines it into center field for a base hit. That's going to score 1 run, and holding at second base is John Curtis.
Then in the 6th, with Fullerton's Danny Dorn on first, Brandon Tripp tripled to the wall in center field, and the Titans were down by just 1.
That's going to score 1 run, and Tripp's going to go looking for 3, and the throw over to third base is not in time.
Fullerton's Clark Hardman then took a 1-2 pitch to left field, and the game was tied at 4.
Fastball, Hardman, base hit to left field. How about that on Father's Day? Clark comes through. Randy, if you're listening, number 4 just got it done for you.
Georgia Tech's Matt Wieters quickly changed the score in the bottom of the 7th with this blast to left field.
Pitch to Wieters is hit high in the air, deep toward left. Dorn going back, and it is... Did he catch it, or is it gone? Waiting to see if he's got it. No, it's a home run from Matt Wieters, and Georgia Tech has the lead. Dorn leapt up at the wall and just had it slip out of the glove and out of his reach, and it's a 5-4 Tech lead.
By the top of the 9th, the Fullerton fans were beginning to wonder if the Titans had any magic left. Leadoff hitter John Curtis popped up to shortstop, and Justin Turner struck out. Any hopes of continuing in the College World Series were in the hands of Blake Davis.
First pitch swinging, a line drive base hit for Blake Davis. And this one's not over yet.
First baseman Brett Pill doubled to left center, moving Davis to third.
Line drive into right center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Rounding second, heading for third is Davis. They're going to hold him at third. And the Titans with the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second with 2 out in the 9th inning.
Georgia Tech decided to intentionally walk Danny Dorn, and the bases were loaded. Corey Vanderhook then took the first pitch up the middle, and 2 runs crossed the plate.
First pitch, slow roller to short, and everybody's going to be safe. The second run, the go-ahead run, will score as it trickles into center field. And an infield single, scores 2, and the Titans rally to take a 6-5 lead.
With Fullerton leading by 1, Brandon Tripp singled down the left field line, scoring. Danny Dorn, and Fullerton was up by 2.
Might be trouble. It's the shortstop, the left fielder. They can't field that one either. Scoring from second base is Danny Dorn. And Cal State Fullerton, on 2 of the tiniest hits you'll ever see, have erupted for 3 runs with 2 outs, and it's 7-5 Titans.
Georgia Tech couldn't answer in their half of the ninth, marking the first time in 3 College World Series appearances that the Yellow Jackets went 0 for 2 in barbecue in Omaha.
The slider lifted right over second base. Davis dives and he makes the catch. Holy cow! Cal State Fullerton on Father's Day rallies from the deficit of down 5-4. They go off for 3 in the top of the ninth. Ryan Paul comes on and slams the door. Cal State Fullerton wins it 7-5. I don't believe what I just saw.
2 of the toughest losses that I have been part of. To lead both games most of the way, and then not to be able to close them out makes it real hard.
The 9th inning rally extended Cal State Fullerton's streak of winning at least 1 game in Omaha to 8. North Carolina is hoping Game 6 of the 2006 College World Series is a little shorter than their first appearance in Game 2. It took 4 hours, 53 minutes, and a 13-inning marathon to beat the Cal State Fullerton Titans. It was the second longest game ever by time. North Carolina will face the top-seeded Clemson Tigers in Game 1. Clemson exploded for 8 runs in the 8th inning, setting up a dramatic come-from-behind win over Georgia Tech. Bottom of the 3rd, North Carolina was able to strike first.
First at bat, swinging away, hits it up the middle. This could be trouble for the Tigers, and it's through. Leadoff single for Cavassini, hits first hit of the day.
Then Reed Frank doubled to right, scoring Cavassini.
Pretty deep into right, over the head of Mitchell. Cavassini rounds second. He's going to try and score. The throw coming in is not in time. Cavassini slides through the 5-hole of Casanova for the first run of the game. An RBI double for Frank, and it's 1-0 Tar Heels.
Josh Horton followed that up with a double of his own.
Sends it into the right center field gap. Frank has to wait. He's going to try and score from second. Will do so easily. Horton rounds second. He's going for 3. The throw coming in.
In time they get him. Fine relay. Chalk, Harbin, Smith with a tag. Run does score, but there is one away.
Clemson tried to answer in the 5th inning with runners on second and third, 2 outs, and Cavassini at the plate.
Breaking ball hit to third. Frank with it. The throw not in time. No, it is in time. The throw came down, and so did Flack on the bag in time to retire the side.
At that point, Tar Heel pitcher Robert Woodard took control, and the Clemson Tigers never touched home.
A little bit of a frustrating game for us. Woodard did an outstanding job. He kept us off balance, and he kept the ball down in the zone, and he worked the outer half of the plate really well, and just didn't make enough hitting adjustments.
In the 9th, Woodard struck out the first 2 hitters and then got Andy D'Alessio to ground out to end the game.
D'Alessio pulls it towards second. That's Shelton. Throws from the outfield grass. Robert Woodard with a complete game 3-hitter as the Tar Heels shut out Clemson and move on in the winner's bracket, 1 step closer to the national title.
You know, somebody's got to beat us twice now, and that's a good position to be in, but we've got to keep working and keep staying focused and doing what we've been doing.
This marks the first time in 5 trips to the College World Series that North Carolina has started 2-0 in Omaha. The dual complete game efforts by North Carolina's Robert Woodard and Clemson's Stephen Ferris marked the first time in 11 years that opposing pitchers went the distance. Game 7 of the 2006 Men's College World Series will determine the first team to go home from Bracket 2. Oregon State finds themselves in this game after a tough 11-1 loss to Miami. On the mound for Oregon State is second-team All-American Jonah Nickerson. Nickerson is the school's career strikeout leader and has an ERA of 2.50. The Georgia Bulldogs are here because of a late-inning comeback by Rice that gave the Owls a 6-4 pass to the winner's side. The Bulldogs will send left-handed senior Mickey Westfall to the hill. Westfall is 7-2 with a 5.08 ERA.
Let's go. This is it, guys. This is what we've been playing for. Right here. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey.
Oregon State started swinging the bats in the second inning when the first two hitters recorded singles.
Tyler Graham jumping on the second pitch from left-hander Mickey Westfall and rips it into left field. The ball juggled out there by Jonathan Wyatt. Graham takes a turn and will hold. A strike two pitch to Listman is drilled into center field for a base hit. Tyler Graham will have to stop at second because the ball got quickly into Joey's side.
Bill Rao lays a bunt down the third base line and was safe on a throwing error. Chris Kunda drove in the game's first run with a bases-loaded sac fly.
Pitch to Kunda is drilled to center field. Joey Side will backpedal and make the catch. Tyler Graham tags and will score easily. Listman on his way to third and gets there easily. The Beavers lead it 1-0 on the sac fly by Chris Kunda.
Top half of the third inning, the Beavers' Cole Gillespie took a 2-1 pitch down the right field line.
And the 2-1 line, fair ball into the right field corner. Gillespie takes the big turn around first. He's on his way to second as Felmy picks it up and gets it in too late. Cole Gillespie with a one-out double down the right field line, and the Beavers are in business again.
Two batters later, Tyler Graham bunted towards third base, scoring Gillespie.
And a bunt from Tyler Graham. Barehanded pickup by Pizzello, put it in his pocket. And the run comes home to score. It's 2-0 Oregon State.
Georgia got on the board in their half of the third with this shot by Jonathan Wyatt.
This is hit deep into right field, way back. Wallace retreating at the track, looking up. This ball is out of here. Jonathan Wyatt touches the ball for the fourth time this season. And that cuts the Oregon State lead in half. And again, Jonathan Wyatt, one of the great clutch performers in Bulldog history.
The Beavers answered with 2 runs in the top of the fourth on Chris Kunda's RBI double down the third baseline.
Mike Listman rounding third will score without a play. Kunda cruising to second. He gets in with a slide and a double, and the Beavers lead it 3-1. Kunda's second run batted in.
Darwin Barney followed up with an RBI single.
He swings and grounds one to the hole at short and into left field, base hit. Chris Kunda will score. Barney does get off the schneid. Kunda scores and the Beavers lead it 4-1.
Oregon State coach Pat Casey decided to go to his closer for the final 2 innings. Kevin Gunderson is an All-American and one of 5 finalists for the Stopper of the Year award. In the 9th inning, Georgia had 2 runners on base before Darwin Barney started a game-ending double play that sealed the win.
Ground ball to Darwin Barney, feeds Kunda for 1, back to first, double play! And the Beavers have won it! Their first ever win in the College World Series, and the Beavers live on in Omaha for at least one more day. 6-4-3 double play ball. The Beavers are still alive.
You know, it came down to one more loss and our season's over, and we know how it felt last year. We got a lot of returning guys back here, and we didn't want that sour taste to elude us again.
This was a first win for Oregon State in 6 College World Series appearances. All 9 starters in the Beavers lineup got at least 1 hit. Game 8 of the 2006 College World Series featured the winner's side of Bracket 2, the Rice Owls and the Miami Hurricanes. The Hurricanes crushed Oregon State 11-1 in the 4th game of the series. Sophomore left-hander Cole St. Clair, one of the country's top closers, gets the start for Rice, while Miami's going to counter with right-hander Danny Gill. The junior has spent most of the season as Miami's setup man, but moved into the starting role in the postseason.
What time is it? Game time! 1, 2, 3! Hey, let's go. Everybody up the whole game. Let's go.
Rice's Tyler Henley pounded the third pitch of the contest in the right field bleachers, quickly putting Miami on its heels.
Fastball hit well to right field. That ball is way back at the wall, looking up and gone. Tyler Henley, a towering drive to right field.
This was their first home run to lead off a College World Series game since Clemson did it back in 2002. Greg Buchanan followed with a single and advanced to third on a bunt by Brian Friday.
Fastball fisted out over the first baseman's head. That's going to be a base hit.
The 0-1, a bunt by Friday, and it's a good one. Pushed toward third, up with it Valencia to throw in time for out number 1.
Buchanan eventually scored on a sacrifice fly by Joe Savory.
That's hit fairly well to left center field, but it'll hang up. Buchanan will get set to tag. Left fielder Rabin will come in. He'll make the catch. Throw it to the third baseman who cuts it off, and it's 2-0 Rice.
Miami's Eddie Rodriguez started things off in the bottom of the third by reaching first on a throwing error. Jamal Weeks laced one to left field, and the Hurricanes had 2 runners in scoring position.
Fair ball. Over the bag at third, headed for the corner. Running it down is Aaron Luna. Chugging into third is Eddie Rodriguez. And into second with a stand-up double is Jamal Weeks. And the Hurricanes are making some noise.
Struggling to find a plate, Rice Owls, Cole St. Clair walked Tommy Giles to load the bases. A fielding error of John Jay's hit allowed Rodriguez to score.
Fouls a 3-2 hit on the ground, right to the second baseman. He bobbles the ball. His throw to second is not in time, and a run scores. Buchanan with a late throw to Friday. It's an error on Buchanan, and Miami trails 2-1.
In the 7th, Miami's Jamal Weeks, Tommy Giles, and John Jay loaded the bases.
Jamal Weeks rounding third. Gino DeMari waves him in, and no, Jamal Weeks is going to back up and head back to third base. But now the Hurricanes have the bases loaded with 1 out.
Rice head coach Wayne Graham decided to make a pitching change and brought in Bryce Cox.
There's a bouncer to the shortstop. Over to second. He didn't make the play. It rolled over to second. They didn't get it. They didn't get the runner at first. A run scored. It's 3-2.
Cox was able to stop the Canes by getting Denny Rabin to hit into a force out.
Swung on. There's a bouncer to the second baseman. He tosses it to shortstop for out number 3. The Hurricanes leave 2 stranded. However, they do score a run. They're within 1. We head to the 8th. It is 3-2 Rice.
With 1 out in the 8th, Miami's Yonder Alonso placed a line drive to left field.
Up over the head of Friday at short. Over to get it is Luna. Alonso makes the big turn at first, but he's aboard with a 1-out hit.
Then Eddie Rodriguez slapped a shot towards second base that turned into a bizarre double play.
And a chopper to the right side. Tough hop for Buchanan to second for 1. On to first. Did he keep the bag? No, he didn't. Savory is livid. And they're going to say out at first on the double play. Interference at second base. And the double play is going to be called anyway.
Jamal Weeks started Miami's final bid in the 9th with a 1-out single that capped a 4-for-5 night.
The tying run is on for Miami. 4 straight hits for Jamal Weeks.
Tommy Giles followed with a single, and the Canes had runners on first and third.
Chopper to the right side and through into right field for a base hit. Weeks around second on his way to third. He'll motor in easily. And runners at the corners with only 1 out in the bottom of the 9th for Miami.
On a 2-2 pitch, Rice's Bryce Cox got John Jay to take a half swing, and the Canes were down to their final out.
A check swing at a curve. Did he go around? Strike 3! Call strike 3 by Joe Burleson. Throws up the right hand. And Jim Morris out of the dugout to argue the call.
Then when we got into the 9th, just trying to work ahead of hitters, get outs when they got runners on first and third.
Swing and a miss, and he struck him out! Bryce Cox strikes out Valencia to end the 9th. The threat is over, and the Owls win the ball game 3-2.
We're very fortunate to win, but I think we won because we got great pitching. I think Cole did a great job, Bobby did well, and Bryce was great.
With the win, Rice gets a day off and secures a spot in the Bracket 2 championship game. Miami moves to the loser's bracket to face Oregon State.
Win. 1, 2, 3, win. Here you go.
The excitement started before the fans could take their seats in Game 9 of the 2006 College World Series. Cal State Fullerton's Justin Turner led off the game with a single to right field. One batter later, Brett Pill moved Turner around the bases with a double.
That one's going to go all the way to the wall and short hops it. Turner's going to round third, and he will score on the play as Brett Pill has his second double and as many at-bats in the College World Series.
Not to be outdone, Danny Dorn hit a double of his own to score Pill.
Down the first baseline, that's a fair ball, and it'll go all the way into the corner. Dorn around first, on his way to second. Here comes Pill to the plate. He'll score. And a back-to-back double situation for the Titans, and they lead it 2-0. Danny Dorn with his 43rd RBI of the year.
2 pitches later, David Cooper got his first hit of the night with a single that scored Dorn.
This one falls in front of Mitchell. Vanderhook's going to score Danny Dorn from second, and David Cooper's got an RBI knock, and it's 3-0 Cal State Fullerton.
Clemson head coach Jack Leggett had seen enough with starter Jason Burkett. DJ Zachi was able to stop the Titans and get out of the inning. But the damage was done, and the Titans were leading Clemson 3-0. Clemson came storming right back in their half of the first. Herman Dimmick and Brad Chalk both recorded singles.
Chalk slaps at it toward third. MacArthur charging in, bare hand throw over to first, not in time.
One batter later, Tyler Colvin singles to the right side, and the Tigers were on the board.
Pass the second baseman into right field. Base hit. Dimmick going to be waved home. Here comes the throw, but it's going to be not in time, and Colvin delivers with an RBI, and it's 3-1.
Andy DeLessio stepped to the plate and ripped a double to left field.
Swung on in his legs into the corner left field, and that'll be a one-hopper off the wall. Chalk will score. Colvin going to be waved home. Here comes the relay throw. It's high, not in time. We are tied at 3 as DeLessio goes the opposite way down the left field line. A double and a couple of RBIs.
In the second, Clemson's DJ Mitchell started things off with a single, then stole second to move into scoring position.
Goes Mitchell as it pitches outside to Casanova. He was showing bunt, but Mitchell in there with a stolen base.
Clemson was able to add to their lead in the fourth after Adrian Casanova doubled to the wall in center field, and Dimmick singled through the left side, scoring Casanova.
Line pass to diving Brett Pill, and Clemson's going to take the lead. Over the field it is Brandon Tripp. He holds him to a single.
2 batters later, Marquez Smith doubled to right, allowing Dimmick to cross the plate, and the lead moved to 3 runs.
And it's over his head and off the wall. Here comes Deming, he'll score. Smith digging for second, slides in with an RBI double.
In the 7th, after Coach George Horton took a moment to say a few words to his team, Danny Dorn singled to right field, setting up unheralded true freshman David Cooper.
Dorn from first, not moving it. Coop turns on one, he hits it high and deep to right. This one has a chance. Mitchell at the track, it's out of here! David Cooper, the phenomenal freshman, rounding the bases with the biggest home run of his life.
Cooper's bash to right center was his second career home run. Tiger reliever Ryan Henson had trouble finding the plate and plunked Brando Tripp to put the tying run at first. One batter later, David Kopp, the third pitcher of the inning for the Tigers, left one out over the plate, and Evan MacArthur singled to left, scoring Tripp and tying the game at 6.
Tyler Colvin in left field. Here comes a runner headed for home. The throw home will be up the third base line, and we are tied at 6 as MacArthur is delivered with a double down the left field line and an RBI.
Clemson tried to answer in the bottom of the 7th with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
The 0-1 fastball. He hops it to Pill. Brett should be able to handle it, and he does. And Herman Damick grounds into a 3-1 ground out to end the inning.
Then in the 8th, with runners at the corners, Titans designated hitter David Cooper came up to the plate looking for his 5th hit of the day.
Swung on, little looper to center field. That's trouble. It's in there. Base hit. Run scores. 7-6. Cal State Fullerton.
Clemson's Taylor Harbin started a rally attempt by opening the bottom of the 9th with a double to right center.
Fastball that is ripped to center field. Back goes Clark, still going back, looking up, and that'll one hop off the wall. Harbin will stride into second base with a lead-off double.
Fullerton closer Ryan Paul entered the game and promptly got Andy DeLisio to strike out.
Swing and a miss, strike three. DeLisio is out on strikes.
Ace starter Wes Romer then entered the game and whiffed pinch hitter Ben Hall for the final out.
The 1-2 on the way. He got him! Wes Romer comes in and strikes him out to end the bottom of the ninth inning. And Cal State Fullerton has staved off elimination for another day.
The Titans' second College World Series victory of 2006 sends them into the Bracket 1 championship round against North Carolina, while the number 1 seeded Tigers take the long trek back to Clemson, South Carolina.
As you know, our guys just don't quit. You know, good team, whatever. It didn't look real good for us, and we just kept grinding it out, and found a way to come out on top.
Game 10 was a rematch of Game 4 of the 2006 College World Series. In the opening round, Miami came out swinging and beat the Oregon State Beavers 11-1. Since that time, Miami lost to Rice 3-2, and Oregon State sent Georgia home with a 5-3 win. Oregon State scored first when Bill Rao, with runners at the corners, drove a line drive to the wall in left field.
Line drive into left field. Coming on is Dakota. He makes the catch for the second out. Tagging from third and heading for home is Barney, and he's saved with the first run for Oregon State. Barney sliding across on the sacrifice fly RBI from Bill Rao, and safe at home. It's 1-0 Beavers.
Miami starting pitcher Carlos Gutierrez ran into trouble in the third when Oregon State's Scott Sanchi doubled to the wall.
It's a high fly ball deep to right center field. That's going to split the gap and go all the way to the wall. Sanchi on the move. Jay picks it up on the track, and Sanchi will get the stop sign and hold up at second. Sanchi will settle for a leadoff double here in the third inning.
Darwin Barney hit a single through the left side, moving Sanchi to third. He would later score on a wild pitch by Gutierrez.
She gets away from Rodriguez. Here comes the second run to the plate, and Sanchi will score on the wild pitch by Gutierrez. Barney to second. It's 2-0 Beavers.
Wallace followed with his second single of the game, prompting Miami coach Jim Morris out of the dugout.
John Jay hustling in, diving, cannot come up with it. Around third is Barney. The throw is cut off. Barney will hold on right there.
Gillespie quickly greeted reliever Marcelo Albert with a double down the left field line.
The 3-1 pitch to Gillespie is drilled into the left field corner. It'll be extra bases. Barney scores on his way to third bases. Wallace will be held there. Gillespie into second with a double, and the Beavers lead it 3-0.
Bill Rao then grounded out to first baseman Yonder Alonso, which allows John Wallace to score, gave the Beavers a 4-0 lead. Mitch Canham finished the scoring with a 2-out single.
A ground ball into center field, base hit. Bull Gillespie trots home. Canham comes through, picking up Graham and everybody else, and the Beavers lead it 5-0.
Oregon State's number 3 starter Mike Stutes held the Hurricanes in check until Eddie Rodriguez singled with 2 outs in the 5th.
Swung on, loop center field. It's going to fall in for a base hit. So much for the record book.
But Stutes was able to get Blake Takati looking on a called third strike to end the inning. Stutes took a shutout into the 7th, but lost it when Dennis Raven rocketed a 1-out pitch that landed 5 rows from the top of the bleachers in right center.
Swung on, there's a fly ball to right field. Backing up is Wallace, and that ball is out of here. Dennis Raven with a towering home run to right field. His second home run of the College World Series. His 8th of the year, and Miami's on the board.
Stutes gave up hits to the next 2 Miami hitters and yielded to reliever Eddie Coons. Coons was able to keep the Canes at bay with 2 fly balls that ended any hopes of a rally.
High fly ball to right, but right there is Wallace waiting for it. A line drive to left, Gillespie right there, and he makes the catch. And the threat ends in the 7th inning. 1 run for Miami.
In the 8th, Tommy Giles tried to rally the Hurricanes with a one-out double to left field.
To the track, to the fence, leaps. The ball is off the top of the fence. It did not go over the yellow line. And into second base goes Tommy Giles with a double.
Oregon State head coach Pat Casey counters by bringing in the Beavers' top closer, Kevin Gunderson. Gunderson finished off the Hurricanes by retiring the last 5 batters he faced.
Last night, they were all nearly to a man that I talked to. I hope we play Miami. I hope we play Miami. We owe them one. Well, they've paid back in plenty. Kevin Gunderson ready, delivers a ground ball to Kunda. Chris from the rim, up with it, throws to Bill Rao, and it's over. The Beavers have defeated the Miami Hurricanes 8-1.
First of all, very proud of our club to come back and play such a good club as Miami and compete the way they competed. I think to a man, every one of us told everybody out there that we were a better club than we played on opening day, and we had to prove it.
With the win, the Beavers are now in the Bracket 2 championship round where they will face Rice. Game 11 of the 2006 College World Series is a rematch from Game 2. North Carolina defeated Cal State Fullerton in a 13-inning thriller on a Josh Horton single through the right side. The Tar Heels are batting .362 in the NCAA tournament with 19 doubles and 13 home runs. Daniel Bard, the junior right-handed pitcher, will be making his 3rd postseason appearance on the mound. Cal State Fullerton stayed alive by sending home the #1 seeded Clemson Tigers when David Cooper's tie-breaking bloop single, his 5th hit of the game, scored Blake Davis, giving the Titans a 7-6 win. Now, Cal State must beat North Carolina twice to move into the championship series. All-American Wes Romer will start the game for the Titans. Romer pitched 8 innings in the first loss to North Carolina. In the bottom half of the second, with runners at the corners, Cal State Fullerton's #8 hitter, Evan MacArthur, singled through the left side, scoring David Cooper.
For line drive base hit into left field. And David Cooper scores from 3rd, and Cal State Fullerton cracks the Da Vinci Code of the Tar Heel pitching staff.
John Curtis hits a 3-0 pitch to center field, and the Titans were up 2-0.
Line drive, shallow center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Rounding 3rd and heading for home is Hardman. Here comes the throw, and it's wide of the plate. 2-0 Fullerton with the lead. An RBI single for John Curtis.
North Carolina came right back in the top of the 4th. The Tar Heels at the corners. Josh Horton singled to left, scoring Mike Cavassini.
And the pitch, line drive into left field. That's a base hit. Cavassini will score. Rounding 2nd and stopping there is Franck. An RBI single for Horton, and the Tar Heels answer right back with a base hit.
Then with 2 on and 1 out, Jay Cox stepped up to the plate.
Cox, a high fly ball, deep left field. Hardman going back, he looks up, and it is gone. A 3-run homer for Jay Cox, and the Tar Heels take the lead 4-2.
But it was the 5th inning that will be the toughest for Fullerton starter Wes Romer to forget. Leadoff hitter Jay Cox hit a 2-2 pitch to deep left center for his 15th home run of the year.
I was 1 for 10. I was kind of beating myself up a little bit. You know, I felt like I was letting the team down a little bit. Coach talked to me a little bit and just said, you know, you're gonna get big hits when it counts. I just tried to put the barrel on the ball, and it just happened to win out, you know, twice.
Not to be outdone, Tim Fedorowicz showed a little power of his own.
He hits it high and deep into left field. If it's fair, that might be gone. It is, and it is. Back-to-back home runs for the Tar Heels, 6-3 Carolina.
Later that inning, Titans Wes Romer would leave the game, giving up 10 hits and matching his season high by allowing 6 runs. Cal State tried to mount a comeback in the 7th with Brett Pill hitting a double and Danny Dorn singling to left field.
Cavassini going back, and it is off the wall. Cavassini will field as Pill scoots into 2nd.
Fastball ripped down into left. Back-to-back hits. Runners on the corners. Nobody out.
North Carolina head coach Mike Fox called for a pitching change, and Jonathan Horvis was on the mound. Horvis was able to get Cal State's David Cooper to hit the ball on the ground, but Brett Pill was able to score, and the Titans were down by 2. 2 batters later, pinch hitter Corey Vanderhook sent a long fly ball to left field, scoring Danny Dorn, and the Titans were now down by just 1.
He reaches up and he makes the catch. Dorn will score, tagging from third.
Cal State had a chance to tie the game in the bottom of the 8th. With 1 out and John Curtis on third, Blake Davis put down a squeeze bunt.
And now Davis, and the squeeze play is on. He bunts it back to the mound, a hard slide into the plate, and the squeeze does not work for the Titans.
Blake's a very good butter. We had that set up. I'm not going to second guess that. And just as I said to my players, there's a lot of things that could have gone differently.
Cal State had one final attempt to score a run in the bottom of the 9th, but back-to-back catches quickly put 2 outs on the board. Tar Heel reliever Andrew Miller was able to get pinch hitter Brian Harris to ground out for the final out of the game.
Chopper on the infield, slow roller to short, Horton up with it, the throw across, and for the first time in school history, North Carolina will play for a national championship on Saturday. Your final score, North Carolina 6 and Cal State Fullerton 5. The Tar Heels are headed to the championship series.
Cal State Fullerton leaves Omaha after stranding 10 runners against the Tar Heels. North Carolina now moves on to the championship series to face either Oregon State or Rice. Game 12 of the 2006 College World Series is a must-win situation for the Beavers of Oregon State. After losing in their first game of the series to Miami, the Beavers moved through the losers bracket by defeating both Georgia and the Hurricanes. Now they face the Rice Owls. The Owls have won 39 of their last 42 games. The team improved to 57-11 on the year and earned a day off by staying in the winners bracket. Right-handed Craig Crow will get the start for the Owls. The junior is 8-1 on the season with an ERA of 3.28. In somewhat of a surprising move, Oregon State's Daniel Turpin will be making just his second start of the season and his first since April 30th. Turpin's biggest claim to fame was being the pitcher who recorded the final 3 outs of Oregon State's 15-0 Super Regional victory over Stanford. Oregon State took control of the game in the bottom of the 3rd inning with 2 runners on. Bill Rao singled to the left side.
Rao delivers a base hit to left field. Marty Lees is going to wave John Wallace home. The throw to the plate is not in time. Rao comes through on the 2-2 pitch, and the Beavers lead it 1-0.
Rice starter Craig Crow was having difficulty finding the plate as the base runners advanced on a wild pitch, and then Tyler Graham took a shot to the body.
Curveball hit him on the left shoulder.
Coach Wayne Graham had seen enough, and Bobby Bramhall was called in from the bullpen. With the bases loaded, Bramhall threw a 2-2 pitch a little too far inside, and Mitch Canham took first while the second run walked across the plate. The Beavers finished the 3rd inning with 3 runs on 2 hits.
3-2 on the ground to second, could be 2, flip to second for 1, and he could not hang on at second base. Rao crosses the plate, and a 3-0 lead for the Beavers.
Rice tried to answer in the top of the 4th. With 2 outs, Josh Rodriguez doubled to right field.
The line drive to right, moving over is Wallace, but he'll get over his head and go to the base of the fence. Rodriguez will get extra bases, cruises into second with a double.
Joe Savory walked, and Aaron Luna was hit by a pitch, and suddenly the bases were loaded.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Turpin ready, delivers, fastball, got him swinging. Turpin loads the bases and, unruffled by it all, comes back with 3 straight pitches for strikes. Rice leaves 3 in the 4th.
In the 6th inning, Oregon State's Shea McFeely made it 4-0 with his 2nd homer in 2 games.
Fastball, McFeely drives it to left. Back goes Luna to the track, to the fence, leaps, and so long! A home run for Shea McFeely for the second straight day, and the Beavers lead it 4-0.
Rice's Aaron Luna led off the top of the 7th by getting hit for the second time in the game. Later in the inning, with 2 outs and Luna at third, Tyler Henley hit a dribbler toward first base that was gobbled up by Oregon State reliever Joe Patterson, who stood in the baseline to make the tag.
He's out the game.
Henley, a former football player, ran over Patterson, and the umpires ruled he did it too aggressively. Oregon State added an insurance run in the 7th when Cole Gillespie tripled to right field. Bill Rao brought him home with a long fly out to center.
High in the air, center field. Lembeck in, makes the catch. The tag at third. Here comes the throw, and it's not going to be in time. Gillespie scores the 5th Oregon State run, and it's a 5-0 lead.
Oregon State reliever Joe Patterson pitched flawlessly in the 8th and 9th innings to finish off Oregon State's 3rd straight win following Saturday's 11-1 humbling by Miami.
Graham going back, and the Beavers have done it again. 3-0 and faced with elimination in the 2006 College World Series as the Beavers win it 5-0.
We were on our last leg, and we asked Turk to get out there and give us a good start and go the distance that he could go, 3, 4, 2, 5, whatever it was, and we'd clean up, do whatever we had to do. And boy, he pitched a heck of a ball game. And then Joe Pa came in and did a great job. It was great to be part of. Once again, just a great atmosphere, and our guys played very well.
Either Rice or Oregon State was going to find Game 13 of the 2006 College World Series unlucky because the loser was going home while the winner was going to advance to the championship series. The Beavers' first baseman Bill Rao opened the 2nd inning with a double down the right field line.
High leg kick delivers. Rao rips it down the right field line and headed for the bullpen. Billy is on his way for 2. Jordan Dodson up with it, and Rao will get there with a slide. A leadoff double for Bill Rao, and the Beavers in business in the top of the 2nd inning.
After advancing to 3rd on a wild pitch, Beaver catcher Mitch Cannon placed a long fly ball to left, scoring Bill Rao.
It'll be deep enough. Aaron Luna twisting and turning to go back to make the catch. Rao tags. He's on his way to the plate. Pitchy slick. Mitch Canham comes through with a sac fly, and the Beavers have the initial lead. It's 1-0.
The Beavers continue to attack the Rice House with singles in the 5th inning. Second baseman Chris Kunda singled down the left field line. Then third baseman Shea McFeely singles to the same spot.
Chris Kunda rounding second, on his way to third. Aaron Luna's throw to third base is not in time, and down to second goes McFeely with a double. And the Beavers in business, runners at second and third, and nobody out. A very close play at third base.
2 batters later, with 1 out and the bases loaded, John Wallace hit one off starting pitcher Eddie Degerman, scoring Kunda.
Wallace hits it off the leg of the pitcher Degerman. 1 run will score. Good play by Rodriguez to throw out Wallace for the second out. On the play, McFeely advances to third. Chris Kunda scores.
The Rice House was struggling to get the ball out of the infield. In the 7th, with 1 out, first baseman Joey Savory doubled down the line to become the first Owl in scoring position.
And it's off the wall, and Savory on his way to second. Here comes the throw from Wallace, and Savory in there with a 1-out double.
Aaron Luna tried to bring Savory home with this shot to right field, but it was just a long fly ball, and Savory moved on to third. The inning ended 1 batter later when Danny Lehman popped up the left field.
Left fielder's going to make the play, and there's 3 away. The Owls get a threat going, but can't finish it.
The Oregon State pitching staff of starter Jonah Nickerson and reliever Kevin Gunderson held Rice to just 2 hits. The Beavers advanced to the championship series to face North Carolina.
You just saw one of the guttiest performances by any person I've ever seen in the sport of baseball, and he just came out there and was outstanding, and our guys scrapped to find a way to score a run here or there against some unbelievable pitching that Rice had, and hard work pays off.
The 2006 College World Series Championship Series between Oregon State and North Carolina marks the first time since 1979 that both teams are making their first appearance in the championship. It's also the first time since 1982 that both teams are seeking their first national title. The Tar Heels made it to the championship series by getting a pair of wins over Cal State Fullerton and a win over College World Series top seed Clemson. On the mound for the Tar Heels is All-American Andrew Miller. Miller was chosen 6th overall in the 2006 Major League Amateur Draft. Oregon State got to this point by following an 11-1 clubbing by Miami in its College World Series opener with 4 straight wins. 2 of those victories against the #1 ranked Rice Owls. The Beavers have not trailed a single inning in battling its way back through the losers bracket. Oregon State will go with 12-3 Dallas Buck to start the game. North Carolina came out strong in the first inning with runners at first and second. Jay Cox singled up the middle, scoring Josh Horton.
Ground ball hit up the middle, hit hard, base hit into center field. Horton coming around third, he will score. Getting to third base is Flack as the throw comes in from Graham. It's an RBI single for Jay Cox, and North Carolina leads it 1-0.
Then Tim Fedorowicz took the next pitch to right center, scoring Chad Flack.
Swinging away, a little blooper into center. That's going to drop and score another run. Jay Cox is going to try to get to third. He'll do it without a throw. 2-0 Tar Heels.
Oregon State cut into the deficit in the third. And Chris Kunda opened the inning with a blast to left field.
He hits a drive, left field. Cox going way back, and it is. Was it caught by a fan over the wall? Let's see what the call is going to be. It's going to be fan interference. Fan interference, which means the umpire will decide where they're going to put Kunda. I think they're going to give him a double.
Mitch Canham placed a bunt down the third baseline, moving Kunda to third, and then a sacrifice fly by Darwin Barney was deep enough to allow Kunda to tag up, and the Beavers were on the board.
Fly ball to right field. Seth Williams is there. Seth makes the catch. Tagging is Kunda on his way to the plate and will score without a play. And the Beavers fighting back. The sac fly for Barney. It's now North Carolina 2 and the Beavers 1.
Tar Heel starting pitcher Andrew Miller was able to stop the Beavers by striking out John Wallace and Cole Gillespie to end the inning. In the top of the 6th, Oregon State's John Wallace hit the first pitch from Miller to right field. Cole Gillespie followed with his 13th homer to give the Beavers a 3-2 lead.
Williams goes back to the fence. Aloft! Gillespie hits it out, and the Beavers lead it 3-2.
But the fan celebration and Beaver momentum was quickly halted by the skies above. One hour and 11 minutes later, Oregon State continued the inning by facing reliever Matt Danford. Danford issues a pair of walks, but got Shea McFeely and Chris Kunda to hit into force outs to keep the Tar Heels within a run.
Swings and it's a ground ball to short. Up with it, Horton. Flip to second to Gore. That forces McFeely at second, and the inning is over.
Despite the long rain delay, Dallas Buck did return for the Beavers, but he promptly gave up singles to Chad Flack and Jay Cox to start the 6th.
Swinging away, Jay Cox hits it into right. Back-to-back singles for the Tar Heels to start off the 6th inning. Flack the second. 2 on, nobody out.
Seth Williams bounced the single up the middle to bring in Flack, and the game was tied at 3.
Swung on ground ball, and that's going to make it up the middle, a base hit. Running in to score the tying run is Chad Flack. Seth Williams comes through with an RBI single to tie the score.
Then in the 8th, North Carolina's Chad Flack recorded his 4th hit of the game by launching a pitch from Joe Patterson down the right field line.
Could be extra bases for Flack. He's going to go for 2. He's going to try for 3. The throw is not in time. Chad Flack with a lead-off triple here in the 8th. Holy cow, Chad Flack.
In the 9th, the Beavers got the tying run to second as Chris Kunda opened the inning with a walk and moved to second on a sacrifice bunt by Matt Cannon. Andrew Kerrigan relieved Jonathan Hovis and sealed the victory by getting Darwin Barney to chase a high fastball and then blowing a fastball by John Wallace. North Carolina is now 9-0 in the NCAA tournament and is trying to become the first team since Miami in 2001 to go undefeated throughout the tournament. The loss snapped Oregon State's 4-game College World Series winning streak. The second game of the championship series could be one for the record books. North Carolina, currently 9-0 in the NCAA tournament, is trying to become the first team since Miami in 2001 to go undefeated throughout the tourney. Oregon State is going for only its second NCAA Division I national championship in school history. Oregon State's other national title was a 1961 cross-country championship. North Carolina got on the board in the top of the second inning on a single by Matt Spencer that scored Tim Fedorowicz from third base.
1-2 pitch on the way to Spencer. Is stroked to right field, base hit. Rounding third is Fedorowicz. The throw to the plate is up the line and not in time. And North Carolina leads it 1-0.
In the third inning, Tar Heels Reed Frank took a 2-2 pitch down the left field line.
Swinging a line drive down the left field line, a base hit. Chasing it down is Gillespie as it goes over the bullpen mound. On his way to second as Franke gets in easily with a stand-up double.
One batter later, Chad Flack brought Frank around with an RBI single.
Hit in the air left field, dropping in for a base hit. Coming around third as Frank headed to the plate. The throw by Gillespie is off the mark. Frank scores. It's an RBI single for Chad Flack. 2-0 North Carolina.
Then with runners on second and third, Fedorowicz doubled to right and 2 more runs crossed the plate.
Fedorowicz sends it high and deep into right field. Wallace on the way back, looking up, he can't get it. Flack will score, Cox will score. Fedorowicz stops between second and third, gets lucky that the throw was coming into third base after a 2 RBI double here in the third.
North Carolina made it 5-0 in the top of the fourth when Reed Frank's RBI single off reliever Daniel Turpin scored Matt Spencer.
Line drive, base hit center field. That was a rocket. In to score from third is Spencer. It's an RBI single for Reed Frank. 5-0 North Carolina.
That forced Oregon State coach Pat Casey to go to Kevin Gunderson with 2 outs. The junior ended the inning with a strikeout of Josh Horton. Oregon State finally got the bats moving in the bottom of the fourth inning. With the bases loaded, Shea McFeely doubled, scoring John Wallace and Tyler Graham.
A line drive down the left field line, base hit. Tyler Graham scores. John Wallace on his way to the plate. He will score. Into third base goes Kunda, and McFeely into second with a double. The Beavers back in the ball game. North Carolina 5 and the Beavers 2.
That would be all for North Carolina starter Robert Woodard. He was replaced by Matt Danford. Danford struck out Scott Sanchi, but Darwin Barney singled to the left side, scoring Chris Kunda, and the lead was cut to 2.
Coming in to score is Kunda. McFeely will stop at third on the solid single to left for Darwin Barney. It's now North Carolina 5 and the Beavers 3.
Danford lost control and throws the ball into the dirt. The wild pitch allowed McFeely to score, and the lead was down to 1. Then with 2 on and 2 outs, first baseman Bill Rao stroked this pitch to right field, giving the Beavers the lead.
Rao cranks one deep right field, way back. It is gone! A 3-run homer for Bill Rao.
In the bottom of the 6th inning, the Beavers turned to the short ball to add to their lead. After Darwin Barney walked, Mitch Canham laid a bunt down the third base line.
The ball is let go by the pitcher. The throw to first is not in time.
2 batters later, Bill Rao singled through the right side for his 4th hit of the game, scoring Barney from third.
Put it into right field, base hit. Darwin Barney scores. Gillespie digging for third. The throw from Williams is cut off, and it's not in time. Gillespie is in. Bill Rao drives in his 8th run in Omaha, and the Beavers lead it 8-5.
The small ball game continued one batter later when Tyler Graham laid down a bunt that reliever Adam Warren had trouble handling.
Not in time. Everybody's safe, and the Beavers lead it 9-5.
The troubles continued for the North Carolina pitching staff as the last score of the inning came off a pass ball that allowed Graham to score.
In the dirt, it gets behind Fedorovich all the way back. Coming to the plate is Graham to throw way late. He scores. It's 11-5 Oregon State.
North Carolina finally cut into the deficit in the 7th when Tim Fedorovich hit his 2nd home run of the series and 12th of the season into the bleachers in left field.
Gillespie at the wall. It is a fair ball home run. Tim Fedorovich, a 2-run shot. It is now 11-7 Oregon State.
I knew it was my ball game to win or lose. They were going to leave me out there for whatever, and obviously it worked out for the best of us.
After giving up 2 runs, Gunderson retired 8 of the next 9 hitters he faced to finish off the Tar Heels and force a Game 3 in the best of 3 series.
A pop fly into shallow left. Barney is there, makes the catch, and the Beavers win it 11-7. Kevin Gunderson comes into the ball game in the 4th inning and pitches the rest of the way. And ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow evening in Omaha, Nebraska, the Oregon State Beavers will play for the national championship against North Carolina.
You saw a bunch of young men with some heart, guts, and determination take the field here at Rosenblatt, and hopefully that's one for the memories, because I'll tell you, we were down and bring our closer in the 5th inning, and those kids really battled, so it was a heck of a ball game for us.
The 5-run deficit overcome by Oregon State was the biggest comeback victory in a championship game. The win makes the Beavers 5-0 in elimination games in the 2006 College World Series. North Carolina's loss snapped a 9-game win streak and ties the championship series at 1 game apiece. The 2006 college baseball season comes down to 1 game, with well-armed North Carolina taking on an Oregon State team riding the monster momentum of Game 2's 11-7 victory that evened the College World Series championship series at a game apiece. The Beavers starting pitcher, Jonah Nickerson, is coming back on 3 days rest. Nickerson has won a pair of games on 2 days rest during the bracket play portion of the College World Series. The Tar Heels will turn to first-round draft choice Daniel Bard. Bard is 9-3 on the season with a 3.84 ERA. Bard pitched 6 innings in the bracket championship victory over Cal State Fullerton. Oregon State's Tyler Graham started off the 4th inning with a single up the middle.
Breaking ball, grounded back up the middle into center field for a base hit.
Graham stole second on the 3rd pitch to John Wallace, moving into scoring position.
Safe! He's safe! Come out!
Wallace then placed a bunt down the 3rd base line with hopes of moving Graham to 3rd.
The ball juggled by Bard, throws to first, and he throws it into right field. Graham on his way to the plate, the throw to the plate, he's not in time! Graham scores, and the Beavers lead it 1-0.
Bard was tagged with 2 errors on the play, and the Oregon State Beavers jumped into the lead. After Chris Kunda moved Wallace up with a sacrifice bunt, Shea McFeely drove a single to center field, which allowed Wallace to score.
Up with it, Cavassini sets his feet, fires to the plate. Here comes the run to score for Oregon State.
The Tar Heels responded in the top half of the 5th with 1 on and 1 out. Seth Williams doubled to the wall in right center, scoring Jay Cox.
Dropping the gap in right center at will. Cox rounds second. He's going to round 3rd as well. Seth Williams stops at second, and Cox will score without a throw. RBI double for Seth Williams. The Heels back within 1.
Benji Johnson then singles to left, moving Williams to 3rd.
Breaking ball. Benji Johnson hits that one hard into left. They will hold Seth Williams at 3rd. Runners on the corners, and just 1 down.
1 batter later, Mike Cavassini singled, scoring Johnson to tie the game at 2.
Coming in to score for Carolina is Williams. Stopping at second base is Benji Johnson. RBI base hit Mike Cavassini ties the score at 2.
North Carolina looked to take the lead in the 6th. With runners at the corners and 1 out, Tim Fedorowicz hit a bouncer at third baseman Shea McFeely, who threw home in time for catcher Mitch Canham to tag out Josh Horton. Canham then noticed Jake Cox moving a little too far off second base.
Barney tags out Cox, double play, and the inning is over!
The Tar Heels had another chance in the top of the 8th when the first 2 batters reached on a walk and a single. Oregon State head coach Pat Casey then called on Dallas Buck, who had pitched 6 1/3 innings in the first loss of the championship series.
Ground ball first base could be 2. Rao juggles it, throws to first out of the pitcher in time to Buck to get the out on Cox.
After getting Jake Cox, Buck intentionally walked Fedorowicz to load the bases. The All-American from Newburgh, Oregon, came back to strike out Seth Williams and Benji Johnson to end the inning.
Johnson swings and misses. He's out. I think Horton was safe, but it doesn't matter.
The 8th inning proved to be the toughest for North Carolina's right-handed starter, Daniel Bard. The 28th overall pick in the draft retired the first 2 batters he faced in the 8th to bring his string to 13. But after a brief discussion with head coach Mike Cox, Bard pitched around hot-hitting first baseman Bill Rao and gave him a free pass to first base. The day ended for Daniel Bard after a bloop single by Tyler Graham put runners on first and second.
Into left, that's going to drop. 2 on now for Oregon State.
The Tar Heels then called on left-hander Andrew Miller. Oregon State countered by bringing in Ryan Gibson to pinch hit.
The 2-1 pitch on the way to Gibson is a 2-hopper to the second baseman, Steed. Bryant throws it away! He throws it away! Bill Rao will score! Heading to second base is Gibson! The Beavers lead it 3-2! Bryant Steed overthrows the first baseman, Tim Fedorowicz. The Beavers have runners at second and third and have taken the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning.
North Carolina's Brian Steed hoped to quickly erase the error in the top of the 9th inning.
Fastball got him swinging. The Beavers are 2 outs away from the national championship.
Mike Cavassini singled up the middle to put the tying run on first.
Cavassini, line drive up the middle, base hit into center field. And he is the potential tying run on at first base with 1 out for Kyle Shelton.
After walking Kyle Sheldon, Oregon State head coach Pat Casey decided to make a change, and Kevin Gunderson became the 5th pitcher of the game for the Beavers. Gunderson had thrown 5 1/3 innings in the second game of the championship series to help seal the win for the Beavers. Gunderson got the Tar Heels' top hitter Josh Horton to ground the ball toward first baseman Bill Rao.
First base, Rao over to his right field, throws the second one, Barney to first to the pitcher, save! Close play! Wow, that was close. And they almost got a double play to end the College World Series, but they didn't.
With 2 outs and runners on first and second, the hopes and dreams of the Tar Heels were on the shoulders of Chad Flack.
Gundy ready, the 1-0 pitch. Flack, a fly ball to left center field. Tyler Graham moving in. Graham is there. The Beavers are the national champions. He makes the catch, and it's over. The Beavers have won the national championship. Final score, the Beavers 3 and North Carolina 2. And they're dogpiling out behind the mound celebrating one of the greatest moments in the history of Oregon State athletics and in the Beaver State. The Beavers getting an unearned run in the bottom of the 8th and hang on again to win it in the 9th, and they are the national champions for baseball in 2006. The Beavers 3, North Carolina 2.
I think that we were able to take the experience from last year. We had all those arms back, and I just felt like that we had a real good feel for the game when we got towards about 3/4 of the way through the conference or halfway through the conference, and we had a meeting and said we can do it. We can, and I'm not talking about winning the Pac-10. I'm talking about winning the whole thing. And but if you want to do it now, you're going to have to believe that we can do it. You got to come out every day.
It hasn't really sunk in, to be honest with you, and to be able to do it, coming from the Northwest and being from Oregon State, where we don't get a whole lot of credit, something special. And being from Portland, which is about an hour and a half from Corvallis, is really special to me in my heart to be able to do this for my teammates and be a part of it with my teammates and our coaching staff and the whole university as a whole, the entire athletic department. We just accomplished something very, very special, not only for the university but for the whole state of Oregon.
Having the will to win on this team is absolutely unbelievable, and the kids that we have on this team all year have got it done when our backs are against the wall, and we proved that this week in Omaha, that when your backs are against the wall, maybe some things come out of some kids that don't usually come out, and we showed that, and we feel very fortunate to be the national champs of 2006.
Oregon State became the first team to win 6 elimination games in Omaha and the first school from the Pacific Northwest to win the NCAA championship trophy.
It feels amazing, to come back 2 years in a row like we did when we haven't been here in 50 some odd years. It's just a great accomplishment for our program and to see Corvallis, and right now I can't even really put into words how it feels.
I was just trying to get my first win.
For all those guys who didn't have the opportunity to play here, and for all the guys who got to play here, I think that they wanted to send them a message that we're all in this together, and it's a championship for the Oregon State baseball program in its entirety.
The 2006 MVP award went to Beaver starter Jonah Nickerson. Nickerson did not allow an earned run in his last 16 1/3 innings at the College World Series.
Let's get the party started in here. Whoa!
Each year, the NCAA College World Series attracts thousands of visitors to Omaha. So what is there to do between the games down at Rosenblatt? Plenty. Just across the street from the ballpark is the Henry Doorly Zoo. It is one of the finest zoos in the nation. TV viewers are already familiar with the giant dome that encloses the world's largest indoor tropical rainforest. The zoo is also home of the Lozier IMAX Theater. Omaha's Old Market offers some of the finest restaurants, art galleries, and antique shops in the country. Lorenzen Gardens, Omaha's Botanical Center, is truly a sight to behold for the entire family and is open year-round. And be sure to visit the Durham Western Heritage Museum, a beautifully restored Art Deco landmark. Explore history with 65,000 square feet of exhibits, including restored train cars and an authentic soda fountain. There really is a lot to do and see in Omaha. "2005 witnessed the passing of a legend in college baseball. In his 45-year tenure at USC, Rod Dedeaux led the Trojans to 10 College World Series championships and 28 conference titles. Under Dedeaux's steady hand, the Trojans brought home 5 consecutive championship titles in the years 1970 through 1974. No other team has won more than 2 consecutive titles. In 1999, he was named Coach of the Century by both Baseball America and Collegiate Baseball. As part of the 50th anniversary of the College World Series in 1996, Dedeaux was named the head coach of the all-time College World Series team by a panel of former World Series coaches, media, and college baseball officials. When Hollywood came calling, Dedeaux's expertise was put to good use as a technical director and consultant for Field of Dreams and A League of Their Own. A regular each year in Omaha for this series he both dominated and cherished, he will be missed by coaches, players, and fans. Want to sing the national anthem at next year's College World Series? Get in line. This year's lineup of singers concluded a 3-month process that starts with audition tapes. Then the top 40 are asked to audition live at Rosenblatt Stadium. Finally, the best performances are chosen to perform at the College World Series. Here are just a few examples.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to perform our national anthem from Omaha, Heidi Joy.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes
And now to perform the national anthem from Schuyler, Nebraska, Jessica Aguirre.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to perform our national anthem this evening from Lincoln, Nebraska, here is Jamie Brown.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Ladies and gentlemen, to perform our national anthem from Omaha, Barry Corey. ladies and gentlemen, to perform our national anthem from Papillion, Nebraska, here's Trilogy.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to perform our national anthem from Meade, Nebraska, Dick Swanson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to perform our national anthem from Lincoln, Nebraska, Bert Anderson, Scott Meredith, Ann Parr, and Sherry Salter.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red flares, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to perform our national anthem from Council Bluffs, Sarah Porter.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
Rachel, and over here we have Mallory Kakin. Hi. Alto. And Rachel Leon. Hi. Alto. And Corey McKenna, a baritone. And Tim Valier is a bass. And Jenna is a soprano. And Eric Phillips is our only tenor. And we're the young a cappella singers. So here we go. Soprano.
One, two.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Now, ladies and gentlemen, to perform our national anthem this afternoon from Lincoln, Nebraska, the Southwood Lutheran Men's Quartet.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It seems that each year the sights and sounds at Rosenblatt get a little bit bigger and a little bit better. Well, this year they got a whole lot bigger and a whole lot better. Installed just in time for the first pitch is the new big screen scoreboard in left field. So just how big is it?
The new Daktronics video board at Rosenblatt Stadium measures 29 feet high by 57 feet wide. It consumes over 171,000 watts of electrical power and is cooled by its own air conditioning system. It contains over 800,000 LEDs or pixels that are spaced 23 millimeters apart. And if you want one for your living room or den, it'll run you about $1 million.
And behind the scenes are at least half a dozen people cranking out graphics and stats to feed this television behemoth. So is it worth it? You bet it is. Omaha's Rosenblatt Stadium is one of the few remaining ballparks that features live music. And behind it all is the one and only Lambert Bartak. Lambert first played the organ for the College World Series in the 1950s and has played full-time since 1988. And yes, he was ejected from an Omaha Royals game for playing the Mickey Mouse theme during an umpire-player argument. His chief complaint is that from his organ booth where he sits in the renovated press area, he can't see home plate. What were they thinking? In addition to being one of the country's best ballpark organists, he does take requests.
Stardust.
Do you play New York, New York?
Oh, yeah.
Stuff. So, what would happen if someone pulled out all the stops? How about, hey, good looking? Would be
I have no favorites. I just play. I started on accordion.
accordion, yeah. Accordion.
Played that for years.
Then you probably do roll out the barrel.
Oh,
God.
I'm afraid so.
What's your round?
Better play a love song for your wife, don't you think? See there?
Won't you call me sweetheart?
Yeah. Something like that, isn't it? I've got it if you want it correctly. Oh my God, I got a bunch, so many here, I don't think I'd ever find it. Like that? It's called My Ideal.
My ideal. And who came up with that?
Here's Misty.
And Pat Casey is out to argue now.
Well, certainly wants an explanation. And you're at the third base umpire.
What would baseball be without umpiring? You don't even want to think about it. Each year, the College World Series officials are chosen from college baseball's elite. For the elimination portion of the tournament, the field is manned by 4 umpires, and a total of 6 umpires work the final championship series.
During the regular season in Division I level, we work almost all the games with 3-man crews. So obviously, every time that you add a person to the team, you have to go over things again, because depending on where the ball's hit, what's the game situation, everyone needs to know what they're supposed to cover, what their major responsibilities are.
And obviously an advantage with 4 officials out there. We've got the outfield covered a lot better. Each base is pretty much primarily covered in a game of this level, so the coverage is obviously much more improved.
Yeah, with the 3-man crew, with no one on base, we start with a base umpire at first, a base umpire at third, and then depending on where the base runners are, that changes. So when you go to 4, you still have one person to locate at each base, which is a great benefit.
Actually, we've got exactly right, 2 more officials added to the outfield lines. They're for the long fair foul calls and anything leaving the yard, especially with the opportunity we have here of fan interference. As you know, we've got some fans that get a little excited out there, and they like to help those outfielders, so that adds extra coverage for that.
The toughest thing in a series like this, the pitching has been so good that there's been a lot of close games and a lot of quick change-arounds, between a team having a lead and then all of a sudden a team rallying to take the lead late in the game. And so obviously that puts a little bit more spotlight on the officiating.
Fans, please direct your attention to the video board for a special presentation from the NCAA and the College World Series of Omaha. In 1950, the NCAA Men's College World Series moved from Kalamazoo, Michigan to Omaha, Nebraska, where it has remained ever since. In 1972, the 1 millionth fan attended the Men's College World Series in Omaha, a feat that took almost 22 years to accomplish. Since then, the support, recognition, popularity, and fan attendance at the Men's College World Series has grown exponentially. In 1983, we celebrated the 2 millionth fan. In 2002, the 5 millionth fan passed through the gates at Rosenblatt Stadium. And just 4 years later, during today's second game of the 2006 Men's College World Series, Jack Deasing Jr., the president of the College World Series of Omaha, Inc., and Dennis Polk, the NCAA Managing Director for Baseball and Football, helped welcome the 6 millionth fan to the NCAA Men's College World Series in Omaha.